Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Woodard. I live in North Central Kansas in a little town called Cortland. Previous to the T2T program, I went to school at Wichita State University. I have a degree in business administration. I studied human resource management. I work currently at Pike Valley USD 426 in Scandia, Kansas. It's a small 1A rural school. We are in a building that is 7 through 12, so we have junior high and high school. And I sponsor FBLA. I'm an 8th grade sponsor, yearbook, and next year I will start NHS. Some additional information about me: I'm wife and mother of 3. Those are my kiddos in the picture. I love to read. I like to be outside. I enjoy painting. When it comes to TV, I like Murder, She Wrote, Golden Girls, and The Office. Below are a couple pictures of bulletin boards I've done in my room. The previous slide had a picture of my classroom with all my plants. I really like that. Students seem to like it. So I just kind of like those little references, parts of me in my space, I guess. So action research is the process of someone assessing their educational practices in a systematic and careful manner. The 4 types of action research include individual, collaborative, school-wide, and district-wide research. The goal of action research is to understand what's going on in certain classrooms, schools or the district. This evaluation can determine the actions that can improve student learning in an environment. The Embrace Action research article that was provided in our resources describes the main steps of action research as deciding the focus of the research or identifying the problem, creating a plan, collecting data, analyzing the data, and form a conclusion, make adjustments, and then report the results. So in comparing action research and traditional research, a couple things that I took away. Action research is very specific, which could include the topic as well as the environment where the research is taking place. To me, it seemed more of a formative assessment because students are heavily involved. There's a lot of collaboration happening. And then it's kind of just a continuous way to assess. So this research process kind of takes a while to do. Traditional research kind of seems like a broad, it makes me think of like when you learn in science, like, hypothesis, what you do your experiment and then you have a conclusion. And this is more of a summative assignment. I thought of like exams and tests and things like that. And then the final conclusion is kind of the end of your research where action is more continuous. Together, they both identify problems, they conduct research, and require analysis at the end. So, common problems. A facilitator might misunderstand the results. The research is time-consuming, so maybe not enough time. Things come up like snow days, emergencies that might disrupt the research. One thing I kind of saw a lot, and I think a lot of us have because of having to use so much more technology in our room, especially if you had any time that you had to be distant learning this year. We had kind of some ethical dilemmas about filming, using personal information of students. Those are some things that might arise in this research. Action research, I think it will help me because I would be able to evaluate some problems that might arise. So like classroom management, I think is one that I will always be working on. Also engaging students. So some other things I could continue working on: improvement in the classroom, my instruction of the content, and students' understanding of the content could improve by continuously assessing what we're doing. So my first misconception of this I had was that it would be a summative assessment where we collected information from things like state testing. However, I believe that I have been able to use action research in my classroom before to critique my experience of action research. I think of my time of teaching so far. I've just finished the second year of teaching, and I was able to take the first year and using it as a time to kind of work through. And then the second year, you can identify like, what could I have done better? And so things that improved, the pictures on my slide are actually from my classroom. This past year, we did our best with social distancing and everything in light of COVID, but I did take the opportunity to do different things. Like I wasn't scared to take them out of the classroom. I involved more movement around my classroom and found ways to build engagement where there's just more movement and more engagement on their part. I feel like doing action research, we probably do it a lot just in assessing ourselves and like what can we do to improve. Like I think of junior high kids a lot. Maybe a student had a kind of a day where they struggled to meet classroom expectations. So what can I do tomorrow to improve that? So I would have to work through the steps and try to implement something with those strategies and then evaluate how that went. I think to do action research correctly, it would take some time to kind of get organized and really think about what we're identifying as the problem instead of kind of the quick example I just used. I feel like the assignment meets the course learning outcome because we learned about the improvement process that includes data use, design, implementation, and evaluation that reflects the action research. So when it comes to the relevance, I think this is just an additional education tool. It made me think about other ways I could be evaluating student learning in the classroom, how I'm conveying content, things like that. For my reflection, this is a new concept to me. Again, tools for assessment. It's never a bad thing. And I honestly, when we were given this assignment, I really wasn't sure where to start. But as I did more research, I was able to learn about the process and how it could really benefit my students' grades 7 through 12. So it provided me the opportunity to research another tool. And this is my citation. All right. Thank you guys.